Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Don't Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, as you can see, we have football season back. Thank God Ohio State football is back. And in today's video, I kind of want to go through, as an Ohio State fan, and react to the game. Ohio State just defeated Akron 52-6. It was a very, I'm going to say a weird game because the beginning was very slow. Everybody was kind of not doing what they were supposed to. The second half came around, they finally started kicking some ass. But long story short, I kind of want to just give my reaction and my opinion on kind of how I think the game went. Kind of quick little first quarter through fourth quarter kind of reaction, give my kind of insight as to how I was feeling, what was my reaction, what was my opinion on how Ohio State looked throughout the game, over the course of the game. And then after I do that, I have notes of all the different things I kind of saw as the game kind of went on, things I kind of want to hit on, things I kind of want to talk about of kind of how they did in this game. Because there was a lot, from the offense to the defense to Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith. That boy is gonna be a problem for DBs in the next 3 years while he's in college. There's a lot we got to get into, so without further ado, I'm gonna stop rambling. I'm gonna get straight into this. If you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, let's start off with the game. Like I said, 6-52. You look at the score. If you looked at the score, if you did not watch the game and you went and looked at the score, you'd be like, oh my God, Ohio State kicked their asses. This was awesome. This was a pure just ass kicking. But if you watched the game, you know as well as I do, this was a very weird game. Like, this game could have honestly been like 66-6, and I still would have looked at you and be like, it doesn't feel like they really kicked their asses. Like, just the way the game felt the whole way from first quarter to fourth quarter to from 15 minutes of the first quarter to triple zeros of the fourth quarter. It just felt like Akron was always right there, and they just, some reason, had Ohio State's number. But like I said, I'm going to kind of walk you through my mindset and my opinions on kind of how I thought as the game kind of went on throughout the score sheet. Like I said, first quarter, Akron, they came out swinging. They were playing good on defense. Ohio State, and I realize some people are going to say, like, well, Ohio State, they are just not real national title contenders. I will give them a benefit of the doubt for this reason one only. They have a lot of new pieces. You have a new offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly. You have a new quarterback in Will Howard, new running back Quinshawn Junkins. You have a new receiver in Jeremiah Smith who's trying to get things figured out. There's a lot of new pieces floating around this offense. A couple of new offensive linemen. Everybody's kind of got to figure each other out. I think as the pieces kind of figure each other out, they'll try to kind of mesh, they'll get used to each other, and I think each game they're going to keep getting better. The coherency, the chemistry, everything's going to be there with each other, and they're going to play better as the games go on. Because, I mean, starting off the game, Jeremiah Smith had a drop pass. We had a good run from Trey Henderson right off the rip for about, I think, 8 or 9 yards. Then Jeremiah Smith, he had a screen pass that he could have caught, and I swear to God, it looked like a tunnel screen that he could have taken to 70 yards to the house. But he dropped the ball. Then we tried to run for some yards. We tried to do a tush push Will Howard. It wasn't working. Running the ball was very weird in the first half. Like, we just couldn't get anything going. And the same thing kind of goes for the second quarter. Now, I will say that 16-yard pass from Will Howard to Jeremiah Smith, that throw, when I saw that, I was like, okay, we have another Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. We have another dude. Like, Jeremiah Smith is going to be a dude for the Ohio State University. The game kind of went on. The offense was stalling. The defense was still there. I will give them that. The one thing I'll say about the defense, I'll be saying it more later on. The defense is a bend but don't break defense. That's the way they were last year. They're going to be exactly the same this year. They are a bend but don't break. What I mean by that, they're going to give up yards. They're going to let you kind of go down the field. They might give up a chunk play or two, but they are not going to let you just mow you down and just go the whole way down and get touchdowns easily all throughout the game. They'll let you go down the field, maybe get a field goal. They're going to let you maybe get one touchdown and a half, if that, but they are not going to just completely snap and let you just run over you. The game went on, and as always, at halftime, you got to make halftime adjustments. I think the team did that. Will Howard and Ryan Day, everybody from the defense to the offense to hell, even special teams, they all pretty much said, they got in there in the locker room, and they all pretty much looked at each other and said, this is not who we are. We are better than this. Like, you look around at the talent all throughout this locker room. We are loaded. We have too much talent to only score 17 points at a half. And even the defense is probably thinking to themselves, we have too much talent to even allow that fucking Akron team to score 3 points. They came out at a halftime. They got some adjustments. They went moving the ball. They were running the ball. They were making some plays. Defense was lighting up the scoreboard. One thing I think I forgot to mention was, I believe it was the second quarter or the first quarter. I think it was the second quarter. Whenever they got this 40-yard field goal, Denzel Burke got a pick. He intercepted the ball. What did we do with it? Absolutely nothing. Because he got that interception and the whole entire crowd went wild. I'm sure every one of you watching on TV probably was like, oh my God, we got a pick. Let's go turn this into points. I was sitting there right there watching like, we ain't going to do anything with it. The way this offense is playing right now, we're not doing jack shit with it. But now getting back on track when it comes to the second half, The second half, they did look good. The second half, they were dominant. They were out of the world. Defense was amazing. Offense was amazing. There was nothing that could be, like, Akron couldn't do anything. I thought as the game kind of went on, I think Will Howard kind of settled in. The receivers, they started to kind of understand what they needed to do. Running backs, Quinshon Judkins, Trayvon Henderson, they were moving the ball pretty well, running the ball. Will Howard, I liked the way how he kind of got used to the way the offensive line. So they're not going to be perfect. They let some pressure through, and there was times where he easily would have been sacked. And last year, if we had Kyle McCord, he would have been sacked 10 times in this game. Will Howard, he was able to escape a couple of those pressures. And we absolutely needed it. We need the rushing attack, or at least just the scramble ability from Will Howard. We needed that. We've missed that for the past few years, and now we finally have it back. Pulling up the box score here to kind of go over some of the things I want to talk about. First up, offense. Offense has the pre-game jitters. They were like this a little bit last year, and I think they're going to be with us this year. Like I said, new offense, new pieces, even the defense, a lot of new pieces on this team. It was going to be, they're kind of getting the jitters out. So that is kind of the reason why they did not look the best in the first game. They got to get the jitters out. They got to get the kind of like the heebie-jeebies out. They got to get used to everybody. They got to learn how to play with each other. I think now after that first game, next week, it's probably going to be the same exact thing. Maybe they have a little bit of early jitters. They'll get things worked out. Like I said with Jeremiah Smith, he's going to be a dangerous problem for America when it comes to DBs trying to guard him. 6 catches, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. This man is a freak of nature. Back shoulder throw, and then the touchdown that Will Howard, he had to zip that ball in there. That was a great throw by him. And then the long ball of Will Howard, he dropped that ball in the bucket. Everybody's talking about Jeremiah Smith's catch, which, don't get me wrong, that was fucking awesome. One-handed catch with his other arm being held, and he caught that shit and went down to the ground and was able to get his other arm free to hold onto the ball. That was nuts. But the throw from Will Howard to get that ball dropped right into the bucket, that was pretty nice. I think if this is what we're seeing out of his first collegiate game, that's setting him up for success in the future. Now, I had this point written down for the first half. I wrote down that the team still can't run the fucking ball. Second half, they changed my mind. They ran the ball better than I thought they were going to. Like, they ran the ball pretty darn well. Trayvon Henderson, 8 carries, 65 yards. Quinshon Judkins, 13 carries, 55 yards. James People came in and got a couple carries in the fourth quarter. They did pretty good. Will Howard, 4 carries, 18 yards. It's not like they just didn't run the ball. They ran the ball at a good level. Don't get me wrong. Last year, they were averaging, I want to say like, what'd they say? Like 120, 130. They said on the telecast. I think it was like 125, 130 is what they averaged last year, which is not the greatest thing in the world. Like, it's actually good. It's good for what they're capable of doing. But with their talent, they should be able to easily get about 200 yards rushing. Like we saw what Michigan was the past couple years. Now I realize Michigan, with them, they could rush for like 250 yards, but then they would only throw for like maybe 180, 200 yards. With Ohio State, the fact that they're rushing for 170 and throwing for 234, I think this number for the passing needs to be up a little bit more if you ask me. I think if we can throw for like 300 yards and get the rushing still around 150 to 200 yards, chef's kiss offense. Something else I noticed from the first half of the game, refs were being some damn assholes whenever it came to not calling holds from Akron. Akron was holding us for like crazy. We couldn't get a break whenever it came to just call a fucking hold on Akron. But I'll let that slide, I guess. Something else I noticed from the game, we messed their quarterback, Ben Finley. We messed him the fuck up. I forget what exactly they said. They said he went to concussion protocol. He passed it. I'm guessing he's good there. But then they said he had a messed up shoulder, bruised shoulder. They said bruised ribs. I don't know if they were broken or not. They said bruised on the telecast. So I'm going with bruised, but he looked like the way he was breathing, the way he was hunched over, limping, I'm going to take a guess they were broken. Like the way he was moving and the way you could just tell he was not feeling good. And he went back out there in the second half. And we said, okay, if you're going to play, we're going to treat you like you're healthy. So what were we doing? You went to throw the ball, we were hitting you. You were about to get sacked, we were hitting you. You went to slide, we went for clubbing on that ball to knock it out. And the guy kind of missed. He ended up hitting you up in the shoulder, the bad shoulder. Let me tell you, he was hurting. I know he was the enemy, but I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Ben Finley, I'll give you a round of applause. You took a fucking ass kicking. You didn't deserve it. And I think the last thing I kind of want to talk about is the big key for our team. If we're going to win games this season, we have to get turnovers. Fumble recovery from Lathan Ransom running it back, the pick six, or I guess it was pick six, from Gabe Powers, him running it back, and even Denzel Burke getting the pick. We need turnovers. That's going to help us win games this season. It's like the more opportunities we can give our offense to go out there and just keep strangling the snake, keep strangling the anaconda, squeeze tighter, be a boa constrictor. That's what Michigan was last year. They got turnovers, they ran the ball, they just constricted you. They squeezed the life out of you. That's what we need to be. So I would say this, kind of wrapping it up. Offense looked good. It's new pieces all over. They're gonna get used to each other. They're gonna get the flow going. Hopefully over these next few weeks as they play these couple teams. I think they play Western Michigan next, and I think UTEP maybe. I forget who they play for these couple upcoming non-conference games, and then they go to Michigan State, and then that's when they kind of get into their bulk of the Big Ten schedule. But overall, they had a good performance. It was a good schedule, or I mean a good game. They played good. I like what they did. They could have been better. I will say that. Ryan Day already said it in the post-game interviews. He said it. Will Howard said it. A lot of the guys said it. They could play better. They can definitely play better. It's one game. Live with it. You watch the film, and you move forward. But other than that, I think I'm going to wrap up there. Hopefully, guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. If you want to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? If you're an Ohio State fan, not an Ohio State fan, do you think the Ohio State team played good, bad? What do you think about the first half performance, second half performance, kind of how they did versus Akron? Whatever your opinion may be, leave a complete opinion down in the comment section down below. I've been more welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.